the last of the Cowboys. Giddy up, gone, boys. 18 wheels on the concrete. It's a slow and dying breed.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to American Truck Simulator. Today we're taking a load of petrol from around San Francisco area up to Truckee, California. Real quick before we hit the road, I just saw a comment on my last farming sim video. Someone said I should stop driving semis because I wreck one every other time I drive them. So naturally, we're going to go into a game solely about driving semis. Makes sense, right? Let's hop into the cab. This is a nice cab over Kenworth. Really, really well done mod. We're going to be driving it today. Got our GPS in the top right. Engine information in the top left. Let's go ahead and... oh, how do we... We'll just drive through the yard. We'll put her in forward. Take off that parking brake, and we're just going to drive right through our building. Now our building is DHL or whatever that... Yeah, DHL company skinned. All the company trucks that I have my employees drive on this save are DHL'd as well. I don't drive one myself, although I could pick one up. I've just been testing out some of these other mods. I used to have a Century Farm kind of paint scheme for that Peterbilt I was driving previously. I no longer do have that paint scheme, which is kind of sad. I was going to drive that today, but I couldn't find where I put that. I had made it myself, and I don't know where I put it, which is disappointing, to say the least. Now, I'm not running track IR or a shifter once again today. I should go ahead and get that stuff set up, but I'm always just too lazy to do it. If you notice me kind of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, I'm trying to get used to having no force feedback on my wheel. I have it disabled when I record, so you guys don't hear it, because it can be quite loud. Okay, truck, let's come to a stop. This flat nose is actually going to be pretty nice to drive today, I think. We're going to have an easy time getting in and around yards, which is going to be great. This load shouldn't take too long for us today. Hopefully it's still there. It's technically past due on the contract, because it's a World of Trucks contract and external contract, but I'm hoping it'll be fine. I guess we will find out together, won't we? I guess we will. But we're headed up there now. It is about 80 miles to go pick this thing up. We are in downtown San Francisco at the moment. We got to head to the north side of San Francisco, just a little ways out of the city, to pick it up from an oil refinery. And then we'll be heading north up to Truckee today. That's where we're headed. That's what we're doing. I don't know how heavy this load is going to be. Actually, there's like a weight station right next to the interstate where we're picking up from, I believe, if I remember correctly. So we're probably gonna... Car, don't you do that, buddy. So we're probably gonna have to get weighed. I should get my shifter set up for these. Driving an automatic truck is very strange. I'm used to driving them in manual, but every video I've released, I've never driven it in manual because I just don't take the time to set it up. And I apologize about that. We know this turn way too well, this getting onto the bridge. I think this is the Bay Bridge right here. The one that heads across to Oakland. Actually, I think there's more than one that heads across to Oakland, technically, isn't there? I really don't know. I've never been to this part of the country in real life, so I couldn't tell you for sure. We're going a little too fast there. A truck didn't want to... Oh, speeding ticket. As I say it, we get a speeding ticket. Ah, well, I could care less. I got plenty of money. We'll do just fine. We are really over-revving this engine, and that's why I don't like riding this as an automatic. You just can't pick your gears yourself. It's kind of annoying, but it looks like we're going to be doing a night run today. At least that's the look of it. The lights are really pretty on this bridge. Really cool. For this game came out in 2016, and it still looks pretty good for being that old. I know the next state coming out, I believe, is Utah. From what I've heard, I believe it is Utah coming out again, or not again, but coming out whenever it does. Hopefully soon. I wish there were more states in the game. but they're not. They're working on it. They're getting them released. But if Euro Truck Simulator 2 proves anything to me, is that this game has a long shelf life. So we should be just fine. We should be able to get pretty much all the states, I would think anyways. Now, we probably should have slowed down through here, but I got places to be and things to haul, so we're not going to do that. Got to take this turn up to Sacramento. Been taking this turn more and more frequently lately. I'm used to taking the other route, heading south, because I used to run, AJ and I, my roommate, when we did a lot of American Truck Sim on multiplayer, on the multiplayer mod. We used to run from California to New Mexico back to California. We would do the longest course, and it's because it paid the most. We would get like $100-some thousand per load. So we were putting in a lot of miles, making some good money. It was a non-modded save game too, which is crazy. You know, how much money and miles we were putting in. I think at one point the truck I was driving, oh gosh, I think it had 80,000 miles before I accidentally sold the truck. It was the truck I started the profile on, and I didn't want to sell it. Man, I was real upset about it, to be honest with you. I was really, really upset. I'm thinking about starting a multiplayer. Alright, we're gonna actually just follow suit behind this truck. Rather, I was gonna pass him, but that's kind of a jerk thing to do. So we're just gonna follow suit behind him. I'm thinking about starting up a American Truck Sim. Oh, we could have just. Okay, well, whatever. An American Truck Sim company in multiplayer. Let me know if you guys are interested in me setting that up. We can make it a thing, make it roleplay-like, make it as realistic as possible. You know, like you guys would report your earnings and expenses every month or week or however that wanted to be played out. You know, there'd be different garage heads, and then you would be a trucker in a certain garage. I think it would be a lot of fun. I think it would be very interesting to do. I know Cherry, my head administrator, has been wanting to get that going. So if you guys are interested in seeing an American Truck Simulator company come out for you guys to be able to join, we can get that going. An RP kind of deal going on that on multiplayer. We could do some convoys together. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Let me know down below in the comments below if you are into something like that. Little update on the 5M server while we're driving along. We're almost to our destination to pick up this load here. It's coming along slowly but surely. We are having a little bit of trouble getting a developer on board with us. That has been our biggest issue so far, but department leads, whew, that was a sketchy turn right there. Brakes are not working. Whew. I was full into the brakes right there. That was scary. But we got a lot of the department heads filled up. Some of them are not yet, but they'll be filled up here soon. Trying to get that rolled out to you guys to be open for applications by the end of this month. And it's cutting it a little closer. Has not been the progress that I'd like to see so far. I'd like to see a developer help on board with us. I've been doing some of it myself here and there, but I just don't have the time to, unfortunately, take care of it myself, nor the knowledge. I do not know SQL too well, which is the database for a lot of the stuff on the server. But just giving you guys a little bit more information about the server here. It will be open for applications once it is out of its beta phase. We're shooting for that to be at the end of this month, beginning of next month. And I don't know if we're going to hit that. We'll see. Cherry believes we will, and if he thinks we will, then I think we'll probably hit it, or we'll at least be close to hitting our mark on that. Once it's out of beta, there will be applications opened for you to apply for any law enforcement position, civilian position, anything like that. Your application will be reviewed by our onboarding staff, and once it's been reviewed by our onboarding staff, if they decide that they want to do an interview with you, they'll hold an interview with you and see if you're a good fit for the community to join us in 5M. It's standard processes for 5M. Most communities do it the way I'm describing right here, so it's nothing different or revolutionary. But we got our truck all hooked up here. Let's take a look at the load. We got 15 tons of petrol headed to Truckee. And we are already late on the job because I took this job like yesterday or 2 days ago and I never did it. It was like yesterday, I think. Either way, let's put her in drive. A1 is our gear, you can see in the top left. Got 164 miles on this truck. And that's, I mean, realistically, you know, you buy this truck used, you'd have more than that, obviously, but you can't really buy used equipment in this game. Now, an interesting thing is 18 Wheels of Steel Hauling was one of the games that SES had made before they made Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. And you could buy used equipment in that game. Now, I don't think any of the trucks were licensed, and that's the big thing. And even with Farming Sim, that's why you don't see used equipment in the game stock, is because they're licensed equipment. Those manufacturers don't want to see their equipment used. They want it to be new and pristine and nice to uphold their brand image, which it makes sense. I'm not faulting them for that. But it is kind of the downside of it is when you get those licensed pieces of equipment like that, you don't get a used equipment market, which I think is something very lacking in a lot of simulators like this, in American Truck Sim and Farming Sim and probably some other ones as well. You know, a used equipment is so important. A lot of farmers do not buy their stuff right out brand new. A lot of them don't. Most farmers buy used equipment, older equipment, and I think having the ability to buy stuff that's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, a little bit of damage, and you can put the money into it to fix it up. It's kind of you'll either get a bargain or you'll kind of get screwed over by buying a piece of junk truck. You know, maybe the transmission goes by in the truck, or it goes bad in the truck. You don't know. Like, I just think it makes it a lot more interesting. 18 Wheels of Steel had that feature, and that game came out in, gosh, the 2000s. Not even the 2010s, the 2000s. Like 2004, I think, is when that game came out. I loved that game. I don't know if anyone else has ever played 18 Wheels of Steel Hall, and I've played some of the other ones as well. Okay, the brakes just don't work good enough for me to stop there, so we'll stop twice. So the next one, we California rolled it. That's fine. Not a big deal. It'll work out just fine. We'll stop twice at the next one there. But yeah, if anyone else has played 18 Wheels of Steel Haul-In or any of the other kind of in that series, because there's actually a lot of them. There's a lot of that 18 Wheels of Steel. There's Cross Country, I think, or something like that. There's like Extreme Driving or Extreme Driver. I can't remember all of them. Haul-In was my favorite one. It was the one I really enjoyed. I actually have it on Steam. I enjoyed it so much I bought it. It's a super old game, and I bought it because I wanted to reminisce about it. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, American Truck Simulator is 20 million times better in graphics and in physics and in controls. But when it comes to the actual company management, that guy just slammed on the brakes to be able to let us on. I appreciate your commitment, man. You could have just got over. When it comes to actually the business side of it, the more running a business, getting contracts with people, buying trailers, buying trucks, I liked 18 Wheels of Steel Haul-In better than I do American Trucks. And now ATS is going in that direction. When they added in the ability to buy trailers, that was a huge step, because that was something you could do in 18 Wheels of Steel Haul-In. And you couldn't do that in ATS for the first while. But now you can buy trailers, which is a step in the right direction. I still think a used equipment market in this game is a necessity. I think it's something that would be very, very nice to have. Even when, because when you're starting out your company, you're not going to buy a brand new truck. That's ridiculous. I mean, you might, I suppose, but realistically, you'd probably want to look for a used truck. And the lack of ability to do that just kind of hurts the role play and the realism of it. You know what I mean? And I know, like, you can nitpick even more and be like, well, you can't even get out of the truck in this game. I wish you could. I do. I wish we had the level of detail in American Truck Simulator and in Farming Simulator, for that matter, that you do with flight simulators, or I think there's a train simulator that's really detailed. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's pretty detailed as well. And I think that would be really, really cool, just to get those more business aspects, or more, just make it even more realistic than it is now. Because right now it's oh, you hop in a truck, you drive down the road, you make a little money kind of thing, right? But if you could implement more to it than just that, I think it would be so interesting. I think a lot of people would enjoy the game a lot more. And I love the game, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love semis. I've loved semi-trucks since I was a small kid. I thought about being a truck driver for a while. My dad and all of his brothers are truck drivers, were at one point anyways. And it's just something that I've always had a passion for, as well as farming. I've always had a passion for farming. I grew up on the farm. So you guys can probably see why I make the content I do here on the channel. I grew up on the farm and have a passion for farming, so Farming Simulator is something that we do quite a bit of content on, obviously. And then American Truck Simulator, you know, I've always loved semis. I've always loved trucking and big rigs. So that's on the channel. Not as much as I would like it to be. And that is honestly due to one reason. It just does not perform as well. Okay, look at all these trucks, like, getting over here. Boy, what are you doing? Oh my God. You're an idiot. Did you see that? Woo! We're hauling a tanker too. Like, I was an inch from tipping, man. Did you see that guy? He didn't need to get over into that lane. I was hauling butt up that hill, and he's just like, nah, screw you. I can't believe that just happened. Oh my gosh. Whew. Well, that got the adrenaline pumping. We almost died. What was that guy said? Every time you drive a semi, you wreck it? Well, not today. Not yet. Where's wood? Need to knock on wood. There's no wood in here. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna wreck a truck today. Ooh, this is quite the hill here, isn't it? Quite the hill indeed. We're in the mountains now. We're headed over to Truckee, so we're heading into some mountains. Really, really pretty up through here, though. Northern California is very beautiful. If I was to live in California, I would live in Northern California for sure. But I highly doubt I would ever live in California. In fact, I'm pretty sure I will always live in Iowa from here on out. The only state, well, I can't say the only state, but the really, yeah, about the only state I could possibly see myself moving to is Colorado. I love mountains. Love, love, love mountains. And the lack of them in Iowa is very upsetting. It's the one thing I dislike about my state. The one thing I don't like about Iowa is the lack of mountains. If we had mountains here, I would be the happiest person in the world. But we don't. I love where I'm from. I love Iowa. I love the farm. And I probably will never move. I already moved away once. I probably won't do it again. But if I did, it'd probably have to be Colorado, as a semi drives past very, very loud. I assume you guys could hear that. Possibly not. But if you did, that was a loud semi. Not the one we're driving either. Well, hopefully we don't overheat this engine. That's another thing. The ability to actually do more damage to your vehicles, overheat the engines by over-revving and things like that, I think are missing. There's really no consequence for over-revving your engine. Like, none. And I wish that wasn't the case. Because really, you gotta watch your RPMs. You gotta be careful about... You know, if you take care of your equipment, it'll take care of you in real life. And this game kind of really just doesn't do that. Alright. Not supposed to engine brake in the rain, but there is no way we're going to get stopped in time if we don't. Because holy cow, everyone is checking up tight up here. And I can't push on my brakes too hard because then my pedals actually slide forward. Sorry about that. I was taking a drink. My mouth was getting a little dry there. We're about to our destination, though. This is Truckee right up here to our right. So let's go ahead and take this turn and figure out where we're dropping this off. Are we dropping it off at the gas station? I think we might be. I apologize, Semi. Did not mean to come up on your inside there and make that turn overly difficult. I was looking up at my GPS and was not paying attention to my speed. See, that's the thing, and I know I'd look like I drive horrendously in video games, and I do. I drive so bad in these video games. In real life, I promise you, I drive so much better in real life. You can't get a sense of speed in these games. At least I can't. I don't know if maybe you guys can or not, but I can never tell how fast I'm going. I think we're dropping off here. Yeah, we're dropping off right here. Okay. Okay, you know what I'm actually going to do? Is there a car behind me? No, there is not. So here's what we're going to do. Let's do it in first person now. I was just checking to see if there was a car behind me. There's about to be. Please do not continue backing or pulling forward their car. And we're going to curb this thing like crazy here. I shouldn't even be doing it this way. This is a very stupid way of backing this in, probably, but we're going to go for it. Everyone can just wait. And I hope this actually needed backed in and not pulled in. I'm going to feel like a real dummy if this needed pulled in and I took the time to back it in. Won't I feel dumb? This is going pretty smooth so far. Nice. Nice. We going to get it, though? How far back? We can't go much farther back. Oh, there we go. Right up. Almost hitting that. Apply that park and brake. Trailer brake released. Let's step out of the truck. Check it out. There we go. We delivered 15 tons of petrol up here to Truckee. This gas station, I suppose they're going to unload it or whatnot. I don't know what the deal is. But that's going to do it for this trip. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Might be a little bit of a short one, and if so, I do apologize about that. But it was a lot of fun just hopping in here, chit-chatting with y'all, doing a little trucking. If you want to see more American Truck Sim, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that like button and it'll let me know. The more likes certain videos get, I know you guys want to see them more. So if you hit the like button, it lets me know what you want to see. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.
We ride across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys, giddy up gone boys. 18 wheels on the concrete, it's a slow and dying breed. Rolling like Jesse James, a modern day outlaw game. If you're out here riding with me, come on back and make some noise. We're the last of the cowboys.